After watching Hard Knocks, we can talk about Mike Tomlin and say confidently that he may be the best players coach inside of the AFC North after the first episode, in my opinion. I know there's some situational football things that sometimes he is a little shaky on, but when it comes to player personnel, Mike Tomlin is tops in the division. Also, I want to talk a little bit about this defense and which players are holding this thing together, which players are making monster differences, some of which maybe not appearing on the stat sheet in a way that you may want. Welcome back to Mike Drop Sports, everybody, here on a Wednesday. Yes, a Wednesday here on the channel. I appreciate it so very much. I think it is Wednesday. I'm pretty sure. I want to say that it is. No, it's a Thursday. Sorry, it's a Thursday. Hey, got my days confused. But yeah, here on a Thursday, here on the channel as we're on week 14. And I wanted to talk about that. After watching Hard Knocks, Mike Tomlin is that guy in terms of players. He knows how to talk to these guys. He is a motivational guy, man. He really gets them fired up. He says some inspirational things to them. It would make you want to run through a wall for one Mike Tomlin, in my opinion. Now, again, situational football, clock management, sometimes the roster management, maybe sometimes a little over loyal, sometimes hinders Mike Tomlin. However, as a player's coach, there might not be anybody better, and it's kind of hard to dispute it after you watch that series, really saw a little bit of an inside look into that building and what is going on with the Steelers, the players, and the coach. You can really get a sense of why people do want to play for him. And you know I'm going to always be honest, and I know a lot of you out there, especially people in our community, really don't love Mike Tomlin as the head football coach. But I got to tell you, after watching that, it was inspiring. And again, I'm telling you the truth. I'm always going to shoot it to you straight with things like that. And Mike Tomlin really showed me a lot, especially the way he handles the younger players, like a Nick Herbig on the sideline, telling him, don't be surprised. Don't act shocked. This is what you do. Giving him those encouraging words to continue to be really, really special and not to feel like it is something that is, a one-off. Make it feel like it is commonplace. And I think that that's what Mike Tomlin does for this Steelers football team, and especially the young group of players. Getting George Pickens back on track during that game after that pick six where he fell down, coming right back, getting the touchdown, getting the score, really having a great relationship, as you can see, with Russell Wilson, who's bringing that veteran presence to that offense, has almost 1,700 yards passing with 10 touchdowns over 6 games for Russell Wilson so far. Those are statistics that you haven't seen from a Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback in quite some time. Tomlin and Omar Khan, their decision to clean house in that quarterback room was a special one. And again, guys, we have to give the credit when the credit is due. When there are things that you can maybe be a little bit critical about, we will be. And that's just the way it goes. That's what we do here. We are going to give it all to you. And Mike Tomlin right now is the right man for the job right now with this football team. He fits this football team, young and old. They are coming together. And again, sometimes situationally and clock management wise, I scratch my head and I wonder, that was probably the most Bush League thing that I ever seen in Cincinnati at the end of the half, where they had a wasted opportunity that they could have took a shot at the end zone, but however weren't able to because of what? Poor mismanagement or poor management of the clock. And that was Mike Tomlin. So yes, those things will make you want to rip your hair out. But when you saw how he handles some of these players live on TV, you couldn't dispute some of the facts there. You couldn't dispute some of the truths there. And I think Mike Tomlin is making a difference. And I had high hopes for him this offseason, saying I hope he changes some of the things that he has done over the past almost 2 decades as the Steelers head man. I hope he tries to embrace change a little bit. And I think he has slightly. I think he has a little bit, especially with Arthur Smith, especially with the way they are approaching this offensive side of the ball. Yes, let's rejoice a little bit about what's going on in the city of Pittsburgh and not be so down on what's going on maybe with the coaching staff, maybe with the players, anything like that. Right now, you're getting to witness something very special, and it doesn't come around often, and you don't want to waste those opportunities. Again, forgive me, I'm a little bit stuffy. Winter cold got me, man. My nose has been running, but we're here. We're doing it up. But again, I wanted to talk a little bit about the defense too. I talked about that at the beginning of the show here for a Thursday upload. I wanted to talk about this defense and what they've been able to do and who are some of maybe the unsung heroes, but maybe not unsung, but some of the guys that are really being the glue of this defense. And you're looking at guys with total tackles that are making stops, man. And that's Patrick Queen leading the team with 88 total tackles. You have Deshaun Elliott. He's second. These are both guys. Deshaun Elliott has 83 tackles to Patrick Queen's 88. These two players were brought in this offseason. They were offseason acquisitions, and they are leading your defense with total tackles. And they have almost 90 apiece. They are definitely making a difference. Two guys that were brought in that we told you in the offseason were going to be special, and they have been. It's taken Patrick a little bit of time to grow into that green dot role, but he's starting to really guide this defense, and he's really leading by example with his performances. Yes, every player has blunders. Every player has misplays. Every player makes mistakes. It is what it is. It is what it is, and you can't sit here and just harp on every single play, but overall performances, Patrick Queen, Deshaun Elliott. And then there's a guy bringing up that third place in total tackles, which sometimes you don't want to see a safety have those. Either one of these safeties have the high tackle numbers that they do, but Minkah Fitzpatrick was 67. And I know a lot of people were really discouraged with Minkah and not having those splash plays that you got accustomed to when Minkah first arrived in Pittsburgh. I know that you've been thinking Minkah has fallen off the planet, man, and he's non-existent. But this guy has 67 tackles from the guy that's playing center field, the guy that's flying around the football, the guy that is always around the football, the guy that is flying, making tackles from way back. Sometimes he's 30 yards off the ball after it's completed, but yet he's still coming up and making some tackles, still contributing each and every game, still demanding attention, still demanding respect from offenses. And that is making a difference, guys. That is making a difference. Cameron Hayward comes up there in the fourth place position in terms of total tackles with 50. That is very encouraging for me. Cam Hayward getting that push up in the front, really holding that defensive unit in the front end together. That veteran leadership of Cam Hayward playing like a young man. You can't overlook this group of guys, these four right here, that are right now, currently, the major contributors really to this offense. Yes, we love our outside backers. They make big splash plays, but when you're talking about what is the glue of this defense right now, that's the four players that I just listed. And I know one of them that you've been thinking has fallen off and has been nowhere to be seen, but he really has. And if you turn on the tape, Minkah Fitzpatrick has been there. Yes, he's missed some plays too. Guys make mistakes. Guys miss plays. I always say that. But those four guys are the glue right now of this defensive unit. They are always there in the moments. They are always there to make the tackles, make the stops. And then you couple that with that outside backer room that's absolutely special. Guys with sacks and strip sacks and forced fumbles and all types of just quality pressures and good plays. This defense, I think, will be all right. Yes, they've had some stumbles here. They have here in 2024. We're going to be honest. But their overall performance, we got to say, has been solid. And I got to say this, their arrow is pointing up, especially when you look at some of these numbers. You look at some of the things that they have been able to do. You look at some of the different things that they are going to be able to do, especially with maybe a three-backer set when Alex Highsmith returns, Preston Smith, Nick Herbig, TJ Watt, those guys. I think that could be really special. You're starting to see the emergence of a young Peyton Wilson, a Landon Roberts playing really well. Dante Jackson playing super well. Joey Porter Jr., yes, he gets a ton of penalties, but he is a contributor to this defense. Their arrows pointed up, my friends, and I just want you to not be overly crazy with your ridicule maybe of this defense sometimes. I think that they definitely are on a path to major success for your Steelers. So that's a good thing. Also, I want to add here at the end of the show, wide receiver for the Baltimore Ravens, Deontay Johnson, will be suspended one game for conduct detrimental to the team. That out of Baltimore. That's a news story just coming out of Baltimore here last night or today. So that's something to watch. Yeah, I'm not sure what that conduct was. I'm not sure what the real true story is. But he will be suspended 1 game without pay for conduct detrimental to the football club. And that's just where kind of the Deontay Johnson saga is at right now, as the Steelers moved on from him with their guy, Dante Jackson, who has a grip of interceptions for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and what a trade that was for the Steelers. Many people didn't like it. I thought it was a stellar trade, actually, but because I thought Dante fit in the system. Dante Jackson fit in the 3-4 scheme, fit in the way the Steelers play on the back end of the ball, or the back end of the defense. So, definitely, I thought it was a big fit. Go back, watch some of our videos. We talked a lot about that, the Dante Jackson acquisition. We talked about how important that was going to be. We talked about Deshaun Elliott, how important and how much of a difference maker he was going to be. He was my player to watch this season in terms of players that were brought in during free agency. He was the guy that I thought was going to make a very big impact, and sure as shit he has. Patrick Queen also, what a player he's been after he's got his feet underneath him. So all good things leading up here to week 14 and facing this Cleveland Browns football team. And I really think this Pittsburgh Steelers ball club has an excellent opportunity to shine, sitting right in front of it. All right, guys, join us tonight for Steel City Live here on Mike Drop Sports. I'm your host, Jason, as always. We will be back tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the show. We will be kicking off around probably 7:15, actually. About 7:15. We'll see. 7 to 7:15. Just make sure your notification bell is on. I also want to welcome, again, new subscribers to the channel. We did hit 3,700 last night. Thank you. We are now almost there to that 4,000 mark. Let's get that 4,000 mark here today, tomorrow. Let's get it very soon. That would be a great Christmas present for me. So share, like, and subscribe if you're not already. Until tonight, I'm Jason. This is Mike Drop Sports. Peace, my friends.